Mira Business FM. The sound of success.
It's Mira Business FM. This is the Morning Drive. Good morning. My name's Tim Elliott. If you're with us on the website, that will be mirabusiness.fm. If you are with us online, welcome. And if you're listening on a podcast, wherever you get your podcasts from, all of our stuff is basically everything is podcast and available on the usual podcast platforms. You can contact us, info@mira.fm, and also whatsapp.mira.fm, 522-789-567. I'll repeat that number a little bit later. I'm very pleased to be joined by... I use the phrase old friend of mine under advisement because it's slightly unfair, but I'm very pleased to talk tech now with the man behind TBreakMedia, managing director, and a veteran voice from PC Mag Middle East as well, in there somewhere, I believe. Abbas Jaffar Ali is with me. So real nice to see you.
Thank you very much for having me over here, Tim. I remember the first time I was on the radio was with you. That was almost, I would say, 10 to 12 years ago. That was my first time on the radio.
Was that? I didn't realize that.
We were doing a gaming show at that time, if you remember. Yeah, so that was my first time.
I had absolutely no idea about that.
We were doing IGN Middle East back then, and we had some things to say about gaming.
Wow. Okay, so old friend does kind of fit in this instance, 100%, I suppose.
100%.
It seems like time goes by so quickly. We haven't seen each other for a while, but look, there's loads to talk about. Let's just jump straight into it. One of the things that I think is doing the rounds at the moment, and it's really on everybody's radar, if you like, is the rise in RAM prices, Abbas. It's a phenomenon some are calling RAMageddon. I think that's a media invention, but it's a great phrase. How is it impacting tech, and where is it impacting tech? Is it PCs, laptops, mobiles? It's pretty much everywhere.
Everywhere, absolutely. And the reason behind that is these two-letter words that you might have heard of recently. They're called AI. Yeah. I think people are talking about this little thing. I'm not sure. I thought it was my initials just spelled wrong or something. But no, it's the demand for AI is such that these data center companies, and you know how businesses, enterprise pays a lot more than consumer. Yeah. So companies are looking at that side and they're like, hey, wait a minute, why don't we just repurpose our lines into enterprise-grade memory and then just sell it to these big guys and make 3 times, 4 times as much more money? It's just business at the end of the day. There's nothing unusual about it. And unfortunately, the consumer, the personal computer user, they're the ones that sort of have to suffer this. We were actually building a small form factor PC. We're actually building it right now for a guide. And RAM is one of the most expensive things we had to buy this time around. It was just ridiculous.
Because it seems to me that a few years ago, RAM was freely available. It was kind of on tap.
You wouldn't even think about getting RAM before, but now it's like a serious, it's like your GPU and your RAM. Those are the 2 things that are super expensive now.
Okay, so RAM prices have increased dramatically. Analysts say it's driven by booming demand from AI data centers and a supply squeeze. So it's having an impact on the likes of you and me, the PC builders, what you're doing at the moment. It impacts our tech generally. But what does it mean for the broader tech market? What are you seeing?
I think prices will get absorbed into hardware over time. So yes, this is a temporary shock. But imagine when cryptocurrency sort of became popular, everyone was running after GPUs, and that raised the prices of GPUs to the next level. But we've sort of gotten used to those prices now. Nobody talks about GPUs being expensive because that's just a fact of life now. Yeah. I think RAM prices going to go somewhere in that direction where they're just going to be a bit pricier than what we've been used to over the last decade or so. And it's just, everyone's going to just absorb that as part of it.
Is it all data centers?
Yes. The demand for data centers is crazy. It's insane. It's just an insatiable, like this.
These are crazy. Buildings the size of football fields.
Absolutely, and they need RAM. They really need RAM. All these LLMs really need RAM to work on the rest. So yeah, absolutely. The one thing that made me chuckle the other day while I was reading on the internet was like, finally, the amount of money that Apple charges you for a RAM upgrade on your MacBook makes sense now.
Finally, I suppose. If somebody's considering an upgrade or building a new computer, is it a good time now, or should you wait? What should people do?
No, I don't think there's no point in waiting. I don't think this is something that's coming down anytime soon. So if you need a PC right now, go ahead and build one. I would always, so whenever I'm building anything, I always put so if 16 GB is needed, I would put in 24, just so you're a little bit safer going down the road. So I would advise someone doing that. RAM prices will continue to go up. We saw Micron selling Crucial, which is a very big brand in memory for consumers and stuff like that. Obviously, they're moving all their supply to data centers and enterprise level, so it's not coming down anytime soon.
Nice piece of advice in there as well when you're putting RAM in a computer. I remember somebody saying to me when I bought a computer years and years and years ago, buy the best that you can afford at that time, because it will last longer. And I think that still holds.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. 100%, yes.
Okay, I've learned something else today, or at least I've been backed up on something. That's what's important. Before we started talking, before we came on air, you kind of said to me, we haven't seen each other for ages, and we were talking, and you said something else. It was like, where did 2025 go?
Absolutely. Time flies, doesn't it? I mean, it just looks like we were just in 2024, and now 2026 is weeks away, a couple of weeks away.
So tell me about 2025 from your point of view, from a tech point of view. What in terms of what was significant? Do you think maybe a tech trend, or maybe there was a shift, or a gadget, or maybe market behavior? What stood out?
Absolutely. So I'll point to two things. First is this phone that I'm carrying, which is the iPhone Air. I absolutely love this thing.
I do like the look of it.
It's not the most loaded phone. It's not the best phone as far as camera is concerned or anything else. But the form factor is just brilliant. And Apple's not the only one who made a very thin phone this year. Samsung made one, and I think Huawei is making one as well. So I think that's a trend that you will continue seeing for a good reason. Because the thinner the phone is, the easier it is to make a foldable phone, because you've got two stacked together. And we just saw Samsung releasing a trifold, which is a dual folding phone called trifold.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, I played around with it, and it's so interesting. I mean, yes, right now it's a bit chunky, it's a bit heavy. Yeah. But I mean, this is where we're headed. It's just a matter of time. It's their very first iteration, and rumors are that Apple's going to announce a foldable phone next year in 2026.
That's been rumored for a while. Yeah,
I mean, they're very strong this time around. Right, so they're sort of coming down there. And Apple is always a company that doesn't necessarily jump into new tech all the time. They wait and see where tech is headed. Has it matured enough? So I think it's at that level where they're ready to get in. And I think next year that's what we're going to see a lot of.
There's going to be queues around the block.
Oh, totally. For, absolutely.
Folding Apple phones.
Absolutely. I think I was reading some analysts' reports, and they were saying that it's going to increase the size of foldable phones by 30%. Immediately.
Yeah,
immediately.
You can imagine that for sure. I'm just waiting for the time. I've always felt that, as we kind of move towards public transport, portable devices even more important. But I feel as though we're going to get to a point. My image of the businessman on public transport is the guy with the broadsheet newspaper from when I was a kid. I feel as though phones are going to fold out in a similar way. Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of becoming that now.
So, I mean, that's sort of like the stopgap solution right now. I think it's just another 5 to 10 years where the glasses that you're wearing will have all the technology that you need for all the screen.
You won't have to carry it, you just wear it.
No, absolutely. It's more private as well. I mean, nobody's peering into them. You get as big of a canvas as you want. That I think is the future.
Are you going to migrate to a foldable phone yourself?
Yes.
When Apple come out with one, will you?
For sure. I mean, I've played around with the Samsung trifold as well, and I think it's a brilliant device. I think the fact that you can have a larger screen in your pocket. I am the kind of guy who'd always choose the largest screen possible. Always.
Do you know one thing I remember about you as well? And true to form, this is how you are today. You hate phone cases. Mm-hmm. I seem to remember you saying that. I remember thinking, but what if you drop it? And you're like, I don't care. I just don't like them.
Never been a phone case person.
Do you put the glass on?
Nothing.
You just keep the phone as it is.
As naked as a phone can be.
Love it. The way it was intended, I suppose. You've kind of pointed towards this as well, Abbas. AI has been the buzzword, if you like, of the year. It's not even a word, but it's become a word, I suppose it's fair to say. It's shaping, component markets, memory pricing. Has anything surprised you about AI?
how good it has become over the last few months has really surprised me. I mean, I had given it a shot in 2024 to do things that I'm doing right now with AI, and it is insane how far we've come across. It's just insane.
In
Every possible way.
Do you feel as though this? I ask a lot of people this. Do you feel that you trust AI? Is that something that's starting to form? Because I think that's really important.
Sure, of course. No, I mean, look, we need to double check things with AI at the moment. I don't think you can fully trust it at the moment. But it's kind of like when you're looking at an answer at Google, and initially you're skeptical about it, but then you use it a little bit more, and AI will develop for sure.
Yeah.
We're still at very early days of it, but the pace at which it is developing is just crazy. And I think that just like tech used to be a separate part of a business, now it's into everything. AI is going to be into every single thing that you do.
Yeah. I did a podcast about 9 months ago, and it was with an AI expert. And I took his resume, his kind of bio, and fed it into, I think it was Notebook LM I used. And it spat out a podcast for me.
Absolutely. It does that.
2 voices.
Yes.
And but I did it twice just to see what the differences would be. And there were a few differences. It wasn't markedly different, but it did offer some alternative listening. And it took me a good 3 or 4 listens before I started to twig that it wasn't maybe bang on. But on first listen, it was unbelievable.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. And I think Notebook LM recently introduced an infographic feature in there.
Right.
It is ballistic. Just put in any URL on the internet, and it's going to create a fantastic infographic for you in a matter of minutes. I mean, it's just brilliant. It's a brilliant tool by Google.
I just can't work out how we keep up with it. So look, we've got a few minutes, but let's look at 2026. Where do you see, what are you excited about in the tech market next year? What are you looking at that you think, this is going to be, aside from Apple's foldable phone?
Sure. I think it's just the AI development. I mean, more and more things are going to hit it, and I think it's going to change the way we work radically. Video editing, podcast editing, recording, all of that. I mean, once that hits this part, it's going to be a completely different game. We can already take a long video, give it to AI, and let it create shorts, and it does a very good job of selecting the parts that it thinks will be the most resonating with your audience. It's just a matter of time. I think everyone's going to become an entrepreneur by themselves.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. I mean, we're seeing that now, aren't we? How about your business? How about TBreak? Where do you, what can you tell me without having to kill me? Where you're going
No,
next
absolutely.
year?
So look, I think a lot of content that we do now, and I have absolutely no issue saying that, we start with AI. We always start with AI. We never end with AI.
Okay.
I think it's a great place to start with because it helps you cut a good couple of hours every single day.
Yeah.
But then never end on AI. Always make sure someone goes through it, what it's doing, what you're trying to get out of it. Just make sure you have a good eye look on it. And that's my advice to everyone.
That's kind of good advice because there are times when I'm kind of researching an interview with somebody and I'll think I don't really understand that, and I'll plug it into AI. And it'll offer me a simplified version so that my my limited brain can understand it, and it allows me. It's kind of a launchpad thing almost.
Very much so. Very much so. Absolutely.
I guess that's a smart way to use it. Really,
it's a tool at the end of the day, right? I mean, you just need to make sure that you use it properly.
It's about harnessing it, isn't it?
Yes, completely. Yeah. And prompt engineering is one thing that people are going to get more and more into. Yeah. It's all about how you ask AI. It's not just about putting a question in AI. I don't know. I mean, for example, if let's say anyone who's got a big public persona, you tell AI to think according to them, not just tell me what this is. I'm trying to think over here. So there's an analyst called Ben Thompson that I think he's fantastic. Sometimes when I am looking at a very hard report from an analyst, I'm like, how would Ben Thompson break it down? And then the AI will assume the role of Ben Thompson and break it down because I really like how he explains things.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, basically getting to that level of personalization with AI, that's where the magic happens.
And then you put your very own Abbas spin on that Ben Thompson AI part. No, I mean, that makes sense. And I can see what you mean in terms of, you're not wasting time. No. You've got not enough hours in the day, I know, for business, obviously. I guess any specific technologies, product categories you think might define
So
next
if you
year?
want to geek out, I would say look at automation. Combine AI with automation and boom, that is insane. That is just insane. So, I mean, you've got tools like N8N and stuff like that that help connect different parts of AI agents. I mean, agentic AI is obviously the buzzword now moving forward.
Yeah.
So you can you can basically just connect multiple agents, and you can then your productivity is going to go 10x with that. It's difficult to put your mind around it right now, but I think this is the future for sure.
Yeah.
AI talking to AI, AI learning from AI, and then I don't know what's going to happen to us humans at in some point of time.
Well, hopefully there's still a point in us, but I mean, who knows? It's really interesting because it's not just a buzzword or a buzz phrase, but AI is everywhere. Every company prospectus you look at, everything you look at online, there's always an AI aspect to it, and I think there's still a lot of trepidation around it. I think a lot of people are a little bit, where's this going to go? Is this the machines taking over? Is this Terminator 2? Is this Skynet? All of those worries. In the end, I always kind of think it's the old thing of, my computer's it's taking over. No, just turn it off. Turn it off the wall. And then what's it going to do? It ain't got no power. It ain't no good, kind of thing.
Hopefully it's not a Matrix situation where we're being used as batteries, but...
That's even scarier. I knew there was a reason for talking to you this morning. You're running a tech business. Your thing every day is looking at the way tech is, involved in our lives. That's a question I've always wanted to ask you. How do you frame TBreak? If somebody says to you, what do you do for a living, Abbas? How do you frame the business to people?
Sure, absolutely. So I think over the years, TBreak has made a lot of twists and turns, but where we've sort of settled at the moment is it's a reflection of Abbas at the end of the day. What is it that I'm interested in? I'm interested in tech, I'm interested in gaming, I'm interested in food, I'm interested in culture, and anything that I find interesting, specifically related to Dubai or the UAE, because that's where I am. Anything that's posted on TBreak, it's just a reflection of me going online. Hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully you agree with me or not. That's completely fine. But that's just TBreak in a nutshell. It's an AI version of Abbas, if I was to put it in a single.
Are there avatars of you wandering around this?
Oh, that's a good idea.
That is. We can have that one for free. There you go. That's something to leave with today. No, I asked that because the way you run your business, I know you as a tech guy. You're heavily into technology, and I know you review gadgets and you write about gadgets and phones and tech generally. But I think you're well placed to maybe offer some advice or maybe a look forward at least to business owners, to everyday tech buyers like me. If I'm looking for a new phone, whatever, would you? 2026 is coming. What kind of advice would you give somebody who's, moving forward? If you own a business and you're thinking, I need to upgrade my tech, do you need to, what would you say?
Look, I think the upgrade cycle is quite interesting, right? I mean, people constantly ask me, Windows 10 just went, end of life this year, and everybody's trying to upgrade to Windows 11 now.
So,
yes, I think that's a very good need to upgrade to Windows 11 because the security updates, et cetera, for Windows 10 are going to stop, and you don't want to be in that place. Always, we said that right at the start, like always buy the best tech you can afford at that time. And never be shy about not buying it because it's a tool for your business. It's going to help you be more productive. It's going to cut down the time you spend on things. And if it gives you extra times, extra minutes, extra hours a day, then it's never a bad thing.
And what about tech buyers? Somebody looking to buy a new phone, a new tablet. I've just bought a new tablet, and I got to be honest with you, it wasn't expensive.
Which one did you end up getting?
I bought an Honor.
They make
V9?
Yes, they make very, very good tablets and stuff. Everything actually.
Well, I was looking for something that was portable. If I'm out and about quite a lot, and I think, I've got to ask that question, so I make notes every now and again.
Yeah, I think foldable phones, as we mentioned, are going to be the big thing this upcoming year.
Well, this thing came with a keyboard, you see, that folds in, and it all works, and there's a pen with it, and I thought, and the price was great. But I've got to tell you, it's changed my life, and I work in a very different way. The battery lasts, it will probably outlive me, the battery, I'm thinking at the moment. So that's great. But, things like that, because I'm very traditional kind of, I carry my phone and I make notes on my phone. Everything my phone tells me to do, I do. Otherwise, I don't do anything. But I've got to that point. But I thought, no, I need to make a change here. So I need to be more adaptable, to be able to write when I'm out, to think about, whatever I'm doing tomorrow a little bit more. So that's changed my kind of attitude.
Fair. So there's one particular device that I'm finding quite interesting. It's a company called Plod. And what they do is...
Plod? Fantastic.
They make these little mics that kind of just stick on you.
Okay.
And you're just literally talking. It's recording all of that. And then using AI magic, it summarizes all your thoughts. And that you're left with a checklist of things that you need to do. You can have it on 24 hours a day if you'd like to, but for privacy reasons, obviously, you don't want to do that. But when you're at work, literally just clip it on your shirt, or it's got a card form factor, keep it on the desk, let it record whatever you're going through, whatever you're thinking of, and then suddenly writing becomes unnecessary, as obnoxious as that sounds.
But you could do that with your phone, but you have to do it.
But your phone's doing multiple other things, right?
Absolutely.
These are single-purpose devices, which I think work a lot better because you don't have to worry about killing the battery life or having it stopped in the middle of a phone call or anything at all.
Yeah.
It's just doing its work all along. So
there's no screen. It's not using much power.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Okay. And how does it connect to? It just connects to your device.
A wireless lead connects to your phone, and then just basically uploads everything to your phone. Your phone does all the transcribing, all the summarizing, sends you notes, and then you do whatever you want to do with them.
20 years ago, I would have laughed at you for saying, oh, there's going to be a device that does this. And nothing surprises me anymore. Mm-hmm. But that's a really smart thing. Few pitfalls in that, though, as you kind of alluded to there. You don't want that switched on all the time.
Of course.
In every situation, obviously.
Absolutely not.
So that's clearly a thing. That's a really smart idea.
That is a very good...
Have you tested it?
I've got two of them, yes.
I knew you'd have two. Okay. Have you used it? Has it made a difference?
Yeah, totally.
Really?
Totally, very much. So where it's helped me a lot is when I'm attending conferences. I was at the Bridge Summit in Abu Dhabi just this earlier this week.
Yeah.
And there was great panel discussion, one after the other. And I think I attended almost 8 to 10 panels that day. And I had that thing just recording everything. I didn't have time to think. I was just listening to what they were saying. And, come home, upload everything. I've got a great summary of what I want to write about, what to choose, and then bam, there you go.
That's hugely useful, I think. So this is not you. It just records everything around you. So it's not as though you're like the crazy guy talking to himself.
No. It's recording everything. It's hearing everything that's around you. Yeah.
Wow. I remember the first time I heard somebody on a hands-free phone. I was on a train in London, so it would be, I guess, late 90s, and I couldn't see the
Bluetooth,
it was actually a cable connection. I was the other side, and I couldn't see the phone either. And everybody in the carriage was moving away because there was this crazy guy shouting down we didn't know what was going on. So you don't want that, I suppose. That's really good, and it's called Plod.
It's called Plod, yep.
Are they expensive?
Not so much.
This has caught my attention now.
Not so much. They're about 500 to 600 dirhams for the device, so they're not crazy pricey.
Wow. Okay. We've got a couple of minutes. If you could give 3, or if there's a takeaway today for anybody listening or watching about navigating, I don't know, tech purchases or tech trends, in particular Plod, really, what would a takeaway from today's discussion be, do you think? What would you...
Don't be afraid to use AI. I mean, try to incorporate it into your life as much as you could potentially allow it to, because at the end of the day, it's going to help you be more productive. That's just the biggest take. If you're looking to buy something, buy it now. Prices will continue increasing, unfortunately. So don't wait thinking, hey, I'm going to wait until prices go down to buy something else. And then I guess the final advice would be just... I don't know, be kind to everyone, a very universal thing. Don't let tech sort of come into the way of just ruining your life.
I love it. Be kind to everyone. Okay, then. Abbas Jaffar Ali from TBreak. I love talking to you. I've really appreciated having you here. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim,
Thanks
for
joining us. This is Mira Business FM.